Our team is the Inspired Innovators, and we are making a mood tracker app. So this is our co-designer, Isabella. She is the girlfriend of my brother. She's a graduate from Washington University in St. Louis, and she works as a computer engineer in Motorola Solutions in Florida. And she has ADHD and a lot of trouble identifying emotional responses.
We conducted our interview on January 16th, and one thing that Isabella mentioned is that reminders should be customizable and occur at predictable times. And she mentioned that random notifications felt intrusive, so based on that feedback, we decided that our app should be time-based notifications where she can choose when she wants to be reminded. Another thing that was mentioned was motivation. Our co-designer didn't want motivation features that feel stressful or guilt-inducing, such as streaks. So we are going to make something that's more gentle and encouraging. For example, like a garden that grows as you log moods, so it rewards consistency without pressure. Another thing that was mentioned is a need for a clear way to record moods in a way that actually reflects how she feels. So this led us to include the ability to select or customize a list of emotions rather than being limited to a fixed set. And we're also going to pair this with an optional journaling feature so she can add more context if she wants. Finally, our co-designer really valued being to see patterns and trends over time. So we're going to include insights into how her moods change across days or weeks. So we're going to plan to provide charts and graphs that can help visualize those trends.
And our overall product objective is to create an app that would let her reliably track her moods and to gather data on herself in order to understand her emotional responses better.
Moving on to product risk, there's no real risks that we could think of, but something that could pop up could be like maybe the user, Isabella, might possibly get overwhelmed by maybe the um, stuff on our app. Moving on to our design, this is something that we created on Figma, a platform where we can kind of just create things. And you can see here, we created 3 pages, like 3 possible pages on our app. One, which is the home app, and we created kind of a moving carousel for images, which we may or may not add depending on like time constraints. And our second page, which is where Isabella can kind of plant her plants. We created this so that to like have it as like motivation for her to like log into the app and kind of track her mood. And then the third one is just the page where she can basically put down how she's feeling. So we have some set moods over here, like sad, happy, angry. And we also want to implement a ability where she can, I guess, add her own feelings if she feels that the feelings shown here are not, I guess, accurate to her current mood.
Alright, so next we have the R code section, which basically is just, we started with Android Studio, but that turned out to be a little bit too clunky for what we were trying to make. So eventually we switched to Flutter recently. So now we're still kind of reconfiguring our whole code base. But Flutter is basically a multi-platform development platform, basically, that allows you to create code that adapts to web, iOS, and Android apps. So that is going to be much easier for us to develop on Android. We're also going to try to store our time and our motion data in local storage instead of something like cloud storage, because it's really not that much data we need to store. And then we're going to try to graph that visually so that we can show the progress over time and how the emotion has changed.
So our next steps in terms of coding and creating the app is to implement a local storage and to fix other quirks within our application. We also want to implement a bunch of the visual aspects, such as the plants. And then we want to do testing. So we're going to share the app with Isabella, and she'll test it for like about a week, and then we'll get feedback and edit our app to be even better. Thank you for listening. That's our project.